Welcome back. Welcome back.
We here again.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we here. Hey, yeah, we
We out
here.
here.
Man, what episode is this, y'all?
That's episode 6.
Six.
Episode
Sir, we here.
Da uno, da dos, da cuatro, da tres. I'm going backwards, but we up at Cinco NCAs. Episode 6, man. God damn. We almost close to 10.
We almost there, man. We
We
almost
getting
there. Stay consistent. We stay
Yes,
consistent.
sir.
We get there.
Yes, sir. We get
You gotta get there.
Get there till we get to 100.
Oh yeah, and then 1,000. That shit gonna come.
And then
fast.
1,000, right?
And then
We just
1,000,000.
keep going.
Then it's gonna be like, God damn, y'all remember when we first
And then
started?
it's gonna be 1,000,000, and we're gonna be old men still talking like this.
I ain't getting no. That's mindset. I stay young.
That's straight up. I'm gonna have a head full of gray hair, but I'm still. For real.
I'm still gonna be
Yeah.
talking my shit. I'm still gonna be talking my shit, yo.
Straight up, ain't shit gonna change. We gonna be more seasoned. That's all. Shit. What we talking about today, gentlemen?
So I wanted to pick back up on a cliffhanger I had about an episode or two ago. I can't even really remember. But I just wanted to ask y'all, because me and my man had a conversation about this. And we was talking about like racism. And I already had a rebuttal to it, but I just want to ask y'all before we even dive into it. Can a black person be racist? What's your thoughts on that? Can a black person actually be racist? Let's sit back and reflect and think about this. Can we actually be racist, gentlemen?
What you think about that, Thomas? I want to hear your thoughts.
So I feel like there's two answers to it. The quick answer, of course. What instance or scenario? I would say, let's say there's a CEO, he's black, and he fires a number of white people, and he says just cause they white, that's why. He's in a position to control their resources, their income, the future projection of their life. So in that sense, he can be racist. Outside of that, in the most normal for the majority of our community, no. There can be bigots, there can be ignorant people, but when it comes to being racist, which is the allocation and the collecting of resources, like it's the fight, to acquire them resources. The majority of us don't have that opportunity, don't have the power to control somebody else's resources. And more specifically, white people. So for the majority, no, but yes, there are some cases where it could be.
So I agree with Thomas 100%, but I kind of think that you were, back to the question, I think that you were kind of asking, or were you asking if a black person could be racist against white people, or if a black person could be racist against ourselves?
Interesting. I like it.
That's
Go ahead.
interesting. Well, it was really in general.
I'm really for that one.
In general.
Okay.
I like
That's
either
another
way.
question,
We
right?
can hit it
That's a
Say
whole
that.
nother
Well,
question
to
and a whole
answer
nother
that question,
conversation.
I
Yeah,
think yes, 100%. Well, question for Thomas, really quick, before I go into it. Do you count racism as just the controlling the resources of the other race?
the over again, and that too, can be broken down into two ways. So it can be, as far as focusing on the resources, because that's the broad the broad definition that a lot of our people are going with. It's the fight for resources. So that's broad. However, there could be smaller instances. I'm not sure if you're trying to get at that, like outside of like focusing on the resources, like somebody, I don't know, black person burning a cross in front of a white man's line or something. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I don't think it's not racism. Like I said, for the majority, acts like that is bigotry, ignorance, just stupidity and shit like that, or just confusion and just anger. That's rebellion. I don't know what it would be, but I wouldn't label it racism.
So that bigotry, that anger, that the frustration from that person, that
That
couldn't
wouldn't
be
stem from.
racism.
I would say no, only because it's a mentality that has been put on our people due to the actual racism. So
Mhm.
I would say it's more of a sickness than it would be racism for the majority of our people. Now, if it was an instance where, like I said, he owned a business and he fired all his white people and hired all black people, and he says it was because they were white, he's racist. But now I can't see it being a connection. I'm not gonna blame a person for showing symptoms of an illness when that illness was put into them, and they were
That's
never
fair.
told on how to treat this illness. They're just reacting. They're sick. You feel me? Mentally. And I'm not saying all of our people are sick, but in a
Uh-huh.
way, we all are, have a little sickness in us until we get to certain levels.
Now I got another question for you. uh, so it sounded like you were speaking from a point of view of somebody our color, a black person.
Of course.
Um, so the other way around, because you said, I try to word it the way that you worded it. You said that
Sorry, just paraphrase, bro. You ain't gotta be exact with me, bro. Just
I'm trying
paraphrase
to
that shit.
make sure I word it right so that the
Got
audience
you, got you,
understand where I'm coming from.
got you, got
But
you.
you said that from you said it's a sickness and you don't want to label it as that because it's a sickness that's been put into us. But racism has been or it stemmed from hundreds or I'm not sure how many years ago, thousands of years ago, right? So it stems from that, and the people that were the racists during that time, they eventually had kids, and they had kids, and they had kids, and so on. So would you say the same is for the white people as well? Could you label them racist, although that that if they do have that hate toward black people, it was probably put into them from somebody that from time ago?
No, yeah, I would definitely, definitely consider it a situation where they have both. They are racist and they are, sick as well. That whole superiority complex, that has been preached since chattel slavery began, and it was like hundreds of years ago when the first, when the guy, went over to Africa and was paid to describe Africans as savages and shit like that in his book, and he brought it back in order to devalue their humanity. Uh, but but I couldn't give it any grace. It's something that they've been passing down almost like a badge of honor, not something that's like in our situation where we're so messed up in so many ways and get an attack because racism attacks you in more than just one way, especially for specifically for our people. So we're we're so in a certain state where some of the things that we're dealing with, we're not even conscious of. You know, when it comes to them spreading the shit like a Bible, which is what they've been doing. And I can, if I was on the other side and I was fucked up, I get it. You feel me? Keep them people down. We know what they're able to do if they get a little bit of money, a little bit of freedom, a little bit of self awareness. We know in order to keep them motherfuckers down and keep us up, I get it. You gonna keep your people up. I get it. You already you done played your hand. You gotta keep going. But I couldn't compare the two. So I would say they definitely have both. but I can't give it any grace. Like, hey, I know some white people that was like, hey, fuck my family. Them motherfuckers live in a small town. And I learned
Mhm.
this in college. And, I ain't never really been around them to see how they actually are in real life. They could just
Right,
be
right.
shooting shit. You feel me? But they been they told me like, hey, I left my whole family. I ain't never going back to that small ass racist ass town. Like, you feel me? I cut family members off, and I've also ran into white people who allowed for their family members to say racist shit and just act like nothing is going on. So I just can't give it no grace though, man. I can't give it no grace.
Do you think the amount of racist, and when I say racist, I'm like, the racist, like,
Yeah, yeah,
there's no question about it, the
yeah, yeah,
racist. All
yeah,
right,
yeah.
so do you think the amount of racist pertaining to the whites, do you think that has declined over time?
I would say certain actions, certain ways, racism has started out, showing showing how it could be, put onto a population of people. It's changed up a little bit,
Hmm.
a little more covert, uh, you know, and that has to do a lot with the lawmaking, the prison industrial system, and a number of different things. But I don't think it's slowed down at all. It's just changed. It's
You
gotten a
don't think
little
it slowed
more.
down at all?
Nah, it's just gotten a little bit more behind the scenes. It's a
It's
little
just
hurt,
changed. I think there's still racism. It's just changed.
evolved. It's
Know what I mean,
evolved.
yeah, you like you
Evolved
can't
to
you
fit the
can't be an
time.
old school racist where like white people don't have that like power to it. They could just blatantly just like disrespect black
I
people
don't know
all day,
about it.
every day type shit.
There's some
It's
small
levels
towns and
to it.
shit.
It's
Yeah,
levels to it, but you won't see like just white
yeah,
people walking around in black neighborhoods like fuck these niggers over there, fuck all of them over there on some Uncle Ruckus shit from Boondocks.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
not
Nah,
really
I don't
happening
think
because
it's.
they
Yeah, I
because
don't think
because
it's that
like
drastic.
I mean like
So
it's just different.
talk to me about the difference. Tell me the difference between, back then versus what you see right now.
More black people are way more rebellious now. Back then, they had our minds, everything. People growing up seeing their mothers and their fathers be slaves. Me as a kid, watching them lash my mother and my father, degrading people I look up to as a child. Like, I'm gonna feel inferior inside growing up seeing that. But now niggas is growing up seeing all type of different shit. Like, black people are just more rebellious, but we're not in unison more.
But
You
how
know what
how
I'm
does
saying?
the how does the racism how did the racism evolve? The evolution of racism. Where is the racism now versus where it was
the
before?
the 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 volume to expressing it, the volume to expressing your racism, I think that's the biggest change. Like, if you was racist back then, like a white person was racist, they either probably have some slaves with them, you would visually see it, they were slave masters, you would
Hmm.
visually see it, or you would hear it in a conversation. You could brag and boast about it with way less chance of punishment. Not now. No, you're not gonna really even see any white person walking around saying they're a slave owner. Maybe certain parts of the country or the world, possibly, but it would just be more rare.
No,
Like
but I'm asking.
we're more equal now. We're more equal now.
So you said that racism or slavery. You said that it evolved. So back then, slavery was, slavery, or racism was racism. You see people with slaves or whatnot, they're making black people do shit, or you get it. But I'm saying, like, where's the evolution now? Where's slavery now? Like, what? Give me an example or a few examples of slavery today.
I would say redlining, the prison industrial system, uh,
But that's not
the,
slavery for just blacks, although you could argue and say that the
but
intention is for blacks, but it's
and
not
and and
slavery
the
for
numbers
just
show
blacks.
I mean, anybody, just like back then, there was Irish people that was indentured servants. There was Asian
So
people that was coming
I
over
gotta
on
argue
boats
with
that
that one because
literally slaves too.
because we're talking about racism, and for that to be race, for jail to be racism or racist, it will only have to include, like, it's not just, hey, we want to put the blacks in here. It's, hey, we want to put the people that are doing bad in here, and just so happen it's
Only, I
our
mean, I
people.
can see that. I can see that be the case if only we weren't being targeted by certain laws that put the majority of the people that's in prisons being, being blacks. Yeah, there's a sprinkle of everybody else in there, but the majority of people who occupy prisons throughout the United States since the beginning, since they started the slave, catchers, which was the first police were slave catchers. They went out, caught slaves that were free, by the United States, were already free, but and brought them back. They were the first police officers. They expanded to L.A., where some of the worst racist people are, and everywhere throughout the United States. They, first they would build a prison, and then to build after the prison, they build highways. People gotta have jobs. Well, they gotta have a home near the prison, so they start building communities. Communities turn into cities, turn into towns around the prison. Uh, that's why, in many different ways to get to the prison, so you can pull people over. But all that to say, it was all started from slavery, from the people who officers. They are the slave owners, the slave catchers, and the system to trap and to get majority of black people back then and back now has stayed the same, but it's actually increased more with the different laws that attack our communities that are not just dealing with the prison industrial system, not just dealing with the schools, but are also dealing with they're also dealing with oh damn, I just had it. Um, they're also dealing with damn. I just lost my train of thought. Damn.
I could tell that Tony gonna say something interesting because the way he just leaned back and grabbed his chin, he gonna hit you with a
No, I
question,
just
bro.
gotta play the devil's advocate. I
Yeah,
gotta
I
play the
know it's
advocate
coming.
here.
I know it's coming.
So, is it safe to say that if a black person does no criminal activity, is not involved in any nonsense, is just sitting back, chilling, doing what they need to do in their life, would they go to prison?
There's a higher chance for him in this United States
Yeah, there's a higher
that
chance than white people, yeah, but for
than
somebody that's just
anybody
But
been,
we are talking
than
about race.
anybody than
We are
but
talking about
anybody.
race here.
for somebody that's just been chilling, that's been doing everything by the book, what?
There's a number of cases of innocent, a lot of black people in prisons, people even back then who were executed before they can even get a fair trial. The getting a fair trial, that shit is new. Back then they fucking
Oh, I
executed
get
you,
that.
bro.
Yeah, I
Like
know.
Hmm.
so it's like the majority of people I would say in there are committing regular crimes that's not hurting nobody, bro.
I
And
get that too.
they're getting time,
Yeah,
and then once you're in there,
but
you're getting more time that's built on top of that.
right, right. But my thing is, if you don't do nothing to get into jail, and then is jail really race? Is it a racist thing, or is it just
It
for
is so
people that are
so
doing the things to get into jail?
just because it captures different people, you feel me? It's like the Texas massacre shooter like theory, like how or how people how people who assassinate people, how what they'll do is they'll cause chaos, a big ass bomb that kills so many people, but the main target was, you feel me,
Right,
that main
right. We
person.
had a
It's the
target, and
same.
we
Yeah,
right.
it's the same thing with the prison industrial system. Yeah, it's a trap that's going to get a lot of people that break these laws that they also put in place
So now my
to
question is, if
only
black
affect
people
black
don't
people.
break laws, do we go to jail? Or are we? Do
Yeah,
we have so many
yeah,
people? Wait, I
because
know that we do go to jail because you can't. I know that we do go to jail. I've been black 34 years,
I know
so I know
Here's
that.
what I will
conversation.
say. Here's what I will say to counter your question. If a black person and a white person commit the same crime, will they be tried
Well,
the same
if
way?
there's no crime committed, and when you word it like that, you make it sound like it's okay to commit the crime. Well,
We was
because the
talking about
crime is
race,
being
so
committed, you're already putting yourself in a position to be targeted to go into this
That goes without a
institution.
given. That's automatic, and no one is disagreeing with that. But we're
Right,
gonna keep it at race. If a
right.
white person commits a crime and a black person commits a crime, is there a difference because of their color of their skin?
Yes,
Y'all
we can
opinions
agree
on
on
that?
that 100%. A white person might get less of a sentence. A white person might not get sentenced. You know, we definitely getting booked.
Think about
You
it.
can
Think
count
about
on
it. A
that.
white person might not
And
get
we getting
sentenced.
the
Let,
book
let me
thrown
let me make
at
you
us.
think. A white person might not get sentenced, but there's been black people who committed crimes that they should be tried in a court for and ended up dying.
Okay,
This has
yeah, that's
happened
true.
plenty of times.
That's
It's
true, but
not,
I
it's not
count
a
that
one
as
time thing.
life.
We're used to this, like seasons changing. A black
I
person
count that as
committed a
life because
misdemeanor
when
and
you
then
commit a crime, you got to be ready for everything that comes with committing that crime. I won't go rob a bank if I'm not ready to shoot my gun, if I'm not ready to kill somebody that take a hostage, if I'm not ready to go to jail, if I'm not, I won't go do this thing if I'm not ready for these things. So what I'm saying is when people go out, not just black people, but people go out and commit crimes, they already know the result of what that crime could what that you get what I'm saying, where that crime could
And
go,
so
or
it,
the
when these
it's
white
result that
in
boys
that
some
is
crime could
shooting
cases.
bring
up
in.
so these white boys is coming to school with that AR-15 and shooting mad innocent kids that have nothing to do with their mental health. How come these niggas ain't dying? How come Trayvon Martin could just be walking with a hoodie on and they're just intimidated about him and they just kill him? It's a difference. And that's all I'm trying to raise here is the awareness of that. Because motherfuckers is doing way worse and getting off at McDonald's while they're in handcuffs.
That is true. I've seen that.
And we're talking about race here. The
Uh-huh.
accountability aspect, every single race. If you break a law, you will be tried in some way, shape, or form. But
Hmm.
black people have a higher risk of dying before even
Because
being
we're
tried.
still the main target. It's the
So
same system that's been set up. Like I said, after slavery, it was for us. It wasn't for nobody else. For slave catchers to come out and catch people, they are the official cops. They literally transitioned from that to cops, bruh. Literally. And those cops created the same
I'm gonna
system to
prove
lock
to you.
black
I'm
people
gonna
up.
prove to you that
It's,
there's
it's
racism in the world.
what? That's not an
I'm gonna
argument.
prove to you. No, no. I'm gonna
That's
prove
not an
to you
argument. I've
the
been
the
black for
ignorance
34 years. I
the
know what
ignorance of
racism is.
racism is still here and alive. The
If
gun
you
that
would
George
if you
Zimmerman
if
killed
y'all wouldn't have
Trayvon
went
Martin
with
with, hear
the
me out, hear me out.
institution, if
The
y'all would have said
gun that
work
killed
is
what
racist, jobs is racism, or slavery, and then I would hear you hundred
in
percent.
all
That is a hundred
aspects, in
percent
all
slavery.
aspects, there's different types of racism. In all
Well,
aspects.
racism, but slavery. I'm talking about slavery.
well, what
That no,
specifically about
everyone's
slavery?
slaves
'Cause,
now. It don't matter the color of your skin. Everyone's slave now, and then it's just like the
yeah,
new
no.
house nigga is like people in better positions. Like that's all. There's levels to it. We're all a slave to the dollar.
So I get y'all argument here or y'all point here. My thing is, you say a black person and a white person commit a crime and they should be tried the same, right? And I agree with
Hmm.
that, right?
Hell
Okay,
no.
but
Let that black man go if he ain't killing nobody.
I'm with you.
There was
Protect
a baby.
protect
There
the
Nah,
was a. I
kid or
they
forgot
should be
about
tried
this
the
kid's
same.
name. There was a
But
kid playing with a toy gun in a park.
do
Police came by and just straight shot the kid drive-by style.
let me finish my
Didn't
point. Let me
stop,
finish my
assess the
question.
situation, nothing.
Let me finish my question. So you got the black person, the white person, they commit the same crime, right? So
Hmm.
are you preaching to the world, hey, they need to be tried fairly, or are you preaching to the world, hey, or to our people, hey, we need to stop committing crime? Because
I'm
if
preaching
you
to the
don't
world.
commit the crime, you don't get tried.
No, I'm
Tried.
not preaching that. That's what you're preaching. I'm preaching to the world that motherfuckers could commit a crime and get killed before they're tried because they're black. That's what I'm preaching to the world. That's what they gotta understand. You could go to McDonald's and steal a fucking cheeseburger from them, and you got a higher chance to die than any other skin tone
That's
just for
true.
doing that.
That's true.
That's all I'm saying.
Do you think it's you think it's because of racism? You don't think it's because of fear of other people? Even black people pull that
Why do they
trigger.
fear
Even
so
if they're
much?
not white, they black. They still
Why do
might
they
pull that
fear
trigger.
us? Why does a black man running towards police put them at fear so much that they all have to empty their whole fucking rounds like it's a
It's
rhino
not
or
just
elephant?
police though. it's not just police. When you're talking about racism and slavery and shit like that, it's not just police that's out there. You're just looking at police, but you got
I
white
mean, we
people
was
killing
talking
black
about that.
people. You got black people killing black people. It's not just police. So that same person that's holding that trigger or that gun that's pulling that trigger, if you change the face of that person from a cop to a black person, are you still consider? Why are they scared? You get what I'm saying? People are going to be scared. People, it's life. People don't know what to expect from somebody else. If I
Yeah,
run up on
but
you,
nah, I can't give that shit grace though, man. Like I said, that shit has started with them. The prison whole cops, just like how we were talking about, the sickness of them passing that so superiority and the oh, you supposed to fear black man because he's so strong. He gonna take your woman. He's so super sexually, energized and all
don't
the
that
other
shit feel
shit.
good to you? Don't that shit
All
feel good to you? Yeah, put me up there. Yeah,
Yeah,
fear me.
but we're saying that we have these cops that say, "Oh, I was so scared. That's the reason." We didn't
And
assess.
they could
We
get
didn't
away
wait
with
for any
that.
bullets or anything. We didn't. You feel me? We didn't do our due diligence. We
Right.
we we feared for our lives. It was a young. He was. He must have been like 6'5", that little kid, and he was so big and he looked so serious when he aimed
And
it.
he had on a
It's
hoodie and he had Skittles and he had an Arizona in his hand and I was
so
scared.
it's like you can
That's how
put
I go.
whatever you want onto our sickness. The picture that they always try to paint towards us from the beginning is, oh, they're so scary when they're free. We can do anything to keep them in captivity or keep them subdued, even killing them. And that was back then till now. The only thing now is that the evolution has changed to where they got a badge. When you automatically see them lights, you see that badge, that you see that uniform, any uniform for real, you feel like, oh, they kind of like a little above you a little bit. Specifically when it comes to cops, you like, oh shit, you see lights going behind you, you feel some type of way. It's a fear
I
that's
start
been. It's a
beating.
fear that yeah, it's a fear even when you know you ain't did shit. You know you a good person. You
Uh-huh.
got insurance and everything. It's just a fear that has been put in on our side to fear, and on their side to you know, this is why you joined this shit, to patrol these people area. And with that comes redlining. So when you say black on black, it ain't no black on black, bro. Like I said, we can't critique our the illness that has been put into our people in a way where we yes, there has to be some responsibility with every person in this world,
Everybody in this world.
specifically for our people, but for everyone, but specifically for our people. Yes, there has to be responsibility in changing your mentality, but at the same time, we cannot take it light that we have been poisoned in every way since they said we were so-called free, bruh. Since then, we have not got a chance to breathe, bruh. None of our people. So with that being said, with the redlining, bruh, after they built the prison, they built the highways to get to the prison. They start building the communities. When they started go from a community to a city, they said, you know what? We gonna redline. Y'all black people, y'all stay over here, and the white people, y'all gonna stay over in this area. Since then, it's maintained like that. It's maintained like that. And now the change is, so it started out. So they lived near the prison, which was in the city. White people lived in the city. Black people lived on the outside of the city. It changed. White people start moving away from the city because black people start moving into the city. So because a lot of the people that were living in the city not just worked at the jail, but they were they were in the militaries. So they lived in the so-called projects, the buildings that's all brick, got metal and shit, because they were in war. It was a thought like, what if this attacked the shit? Once they left, black people moved into these projects. What they do, they made sure that motherfuckers, that once we moved in, we could never move back out. So they redlined us, stopped us from getting loans, stopped us from even moving into their neighborhoods, created the HOA where for sure we wasn't moving into their fucking communities. So and kept us in a small area where we're all fighting for certain resources that's already limited. You feel me? It's a sickness where what else you gonna do? Of course it's gonna be black on black. That's the only person I see. Unless I drive out of the motherfucking city and come to a motherfucking that And then what's the risk of getting out of that motherfucking city without being stopped by the fucking police? So it's like, where else you gonna go, bruh? You feel me? Of course, it's gonna be black on black crime, but at the end of the day, it's all designed for that. So I
and
can't
and
really
that's my thing. That's
blame
where
my,
my
my
issue is
people.
there. My issue is that y'all make it seem like it's okay because they set it up this way. That it's okay
Fuck
to
no,
for the black on black shit, and that shit is not okay. And
straight
that
up.
is where my mental goes to. Is like stop blaming the whites. They probably set the shit up like this, but we came. We're here to play the game that the hand that we're dealt. You know, this is the hand that we dealt. We
Nah,
got to make the
fuck
most
that.
out of that
Fuck,
shit.
we changing the game. Fuck
No,
being they
no.
part of the game.
You
Fuck
if
that,
you
nigga.
just do
We playing
nothing but
chess. That's what the
point
fuck we
fingers
came
and
for.
blame, and then you get nowhere in life. You can't just point fingers and blame
Not straight up.
motherfucking people.
Not straight
You
up.
get nowhere.
You can't do that for nobody, as especially as an adult. You cannot sit around and continue to complain. Now we have all the right in the world every day to speak about the fucking truth of that happened and that's still going on. But at the same
Hmm.
time, we do got to take the responsibility to change, however it is, however your change is. Whether you say, you feel me, you need the motherfucking money, but you ain't gonna be the person that's out there selling the drugs to your people. You feel me? Whether it's just one person, you feel me? We got to take a responsibility. I do agree with that, but shit, when you ain't got shit, everybody out for survival. Majority of people in our communities, to be honest, everybody out for survival,
So I
and they
got a
don't got to just
question.
be hand to hand crime. It can be fucking blue collar crime, and that shit crazier than shit. The shit that happened in
That's
our
society.
communities.
Yeah.
I got a question. So it sounds like Thomas should coming from the before aspect or the
Uh-huh.
reasoning of why. And Tony, you're talking about the awareness and taking the action after that. So you're like the before and after here.
Uh-huh.
What's the bridge in the gap in between? What is it gonna take for people to realize that they were victims, them being aware and awakening, and them like breaking free from those chains? What's the bridge in the gap there? Any suggestions?
I mean, I think the first thing is just to educate yourself. They start telling people don't go to college. You don't got to go to college. Like, what kind of shit is that to tell people in our community? Like, you already setting the bar super fucking low. Don't everybody can't be a celebrity, bruh. And that shit don't pay like that, man. Like, so I think we gotta educate each other, man. Parents, y'all gotta educate yourself so you can educate your children, man. So that they can educate the future. If we don't educate each other, man, we just gonna keep continuing in this sick cycle of a step forward, two steps back, and as we see, it's not getting us anywhere. So I think the first step is education.
I think, um, well, yeah, I agree with you, Thomas. Education is definitely the major part of it. Me, y'all know my mind. I'm not in this race fight. There's no. I don't identify with my skin. I'm not black. I'm not white. I'm God. Oh, and God does not have a skin color. And once you identify, once you understand who you are and why you're here, you understand that a argument or a fight between the two colors or two colors
Your
are
purpose exceeds that shit.
it's a distraction. It's a distraction is to keep you where you are mentally, if that's where you are, if that makes sense. But once you discover that you're much more than this, your soul is not black or white. You're just a soul in the human body, and then you're not in this race war fight, and you could kind of elevate yourself and start thinking beyond where most people think. That makes sense.
Nah, for sure. It definitely makes sense. Shit, I feel like we getting there too, man. We getting there. Man, it's
I
so
gotta
many
play
great
devil's
things happening.
advocate.
Yeah,
But
but
Gotta play
it's
devil's advocate.
yeah, it's hold on one second. It's so many people that's are making changes like throughout the whole United States in large numbers, man. It's a lot of learning going on. So it's definitely happening. It'll happen faster if motherfuckers get off our backs.
I hear you. I hear you.
Leave
But
us
I
alone
mean,
for.
what's life with no challenge?
I mean, we
What's
don't
life
need
with no
that
challenge?
challenge. Fuck that challenge. We
No,
done been through
take it.
that.
Y'all could do whatever y'all can do to hold me down, nigga, and watch me make it to the top still.
Oh yeah, and we doing that. We doing that, but shit.
Exactly.
Fuck
Exactly.
off of us. Shit. It's the time when you leave that motherfucking gym and you take that motherfucking weight vest off and you take your fucking shoes off and you get
Mm-hmm.
to fucking sit back and relax.
Right.
Like, you see what the fuck I did with all this weight on me?
Yep.
Like, we ain't had no
Yep.
time to do that shit. As soon as we get up there, hey, bring your ass here, man. You owe us some money. And if you made too much money, remember that one girl you kind of like talked to? Y'all had something and you kind of raped her.
All right.
Go ahead, Tom. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Tom.
So like you were saying something, Grim, that made me think. So I know we gotta have people who listen to this and all of that. So you have a lot of views from the awareness and awakened aspect. So I gotta play devil's advocate with you every once in a while, because everyone that's tapped into this is not mentally where you're at. So you're saying you're God and you're not black, or you're not white,
Right.
but you are in melanated flesh.
I am in the vessel, yes, and this vessel is what I chose to be in
And
while
we're
on
talking,
Earth.
we're all talking about the variances in the vessel. That's what this whole conversation is. We're
But
digging a little
my
deep.
point is that that argument is irrelevant. It's a distraction because you're not that. You're just in this vessel for the time being. This vessel will not exist, in time. This vessel will not exist. It will cease to exist. And you will still, in my thought process, in my head, still exist. And because you will still exist without this vessel, and then your whole argument about race is pointless because it's not gonna exist at that point.
Because
You get
niggas
what I'm
might come
saying?
back reincarnated as a white man or something.
You're not gonna come. I don't know, but you get what I'm saying? Like when you're in the spiritual realm, you're not in a human body. And because you're not in a human body, and then what is the point of arguing about the time when you were in a human body versus just elevating yourself to be the best you that you can be so that when you leave this vessel, you have something more. That makes sense.
Now I get it, but
I
there
get
are
you.
some religions that believe you will be, reincarnated as you who you are, just in a different place. So if you're still that person,
Could be.
the things that you went through and the things that the people that you left behind are still dealing with, you know, are still real. Whether you come back to that place or you go to a place where you get 100 virgins or whatever, or you go to somewhere else, a different paradise, there are religions who do believe it though. So,
Yeah,
uh,
I'm just talking about what I believe
yeah, for
because
sure.
everybody is entitled to their own beliefs and not everybody is right or all of us are right. But I'm talking about from my belief, and because this is my belief, it's no changing.
Straight
There's no
up,
changing.
straight up, straight up. Yes, sir.
Non-negotiable.
Not at all. Shit. I feel like everybody's right. Whatever you believe, as like we said before, I feel like whatever you believe, that's what's gonna happen for you. That's the
Hmm.
world that you're creating, and nothing's wrong with that. If it's not evil and it's not evil being done upon other people, there's nothing wrong with your peace, your heaven. That's perfect that people had the opportunity to think about that, because like how we said, we are all elevated on different levels in our life, mentally and just spiritually. So we see things different, uh unlike a lot of people who haven't had the opportunity, to get there yet and surpass us yet. It's so we're really privileged to have the insight to think about different ways of believing, different ways of living, now and after. So, but I think it's we definitely got to be very
Did
cautious
any of
on.
y'all sit down and watch that Kanye interview? Just a portion of it. No.
No.
I think I seen like a snippet or something, but nothing like long enough.
See. I think that when people go and watch this, they're gonna refer to that. Kanye be on his God shit for real. I am God.
Yeah,
Kanye be thinking he God for real. I don't know his beliefs, but
I
I
don't
agree
think he
with him.
do.
He is God.
I don't think he
We
do.
all
I
are
think
God.
he's saying that shit in the confused sick state. That nigga
I don't
fucking
think so. I don't
that
think
nigga
so. There's been so many times where I could
he
relate
already
with what he
he
was saying.
but
It just made so much sense to me.
he's clinically diagnosed with having being bipolar and I think some other shit. Like this nigga's mental
Yeah,
status.
but his beliefs are still his beliefs. Just because
Yeah, but it
he
comes from
might
a
be
mind
diagnosed,
state.
he might be a little crazy on the side over here. But you know, I guarantee you, where he what he believe is what he believe. You know, it ain't
But the
got
thing
nothing to
is,
do with his illness.
I can see it does because I can see if it was something outside of a religion that was already formed, that people just saying, I'm a God just on my own and this is what I believe. But when he's anchoring it on some shit that has things that you have to guidelines that you have to follow. He's going so hard on it at first, and then he switches up and so many different times like he does, like it's always for entertainment, and he's an entertainer. It's I don't believe it. I don't believe anything that he says, and I wouldn't never believe anything he says because I don't know him. But I
But
definitely don't believe any of the shit he says as far as God shit, and then he contradicts himself. And I'm not saying there's not room to grow because we all continue to grow every fucking day. But when you do certain things and then you have a pattern of doing those certain things that counteract what the fuck you said, it's
so
entertainment now at the
I
end
get
of the
what you're
day.
saying.
Now you're just fucking lying and you have a reason. So what album are you about to put out, Kanye?
I get what you're saying. I still disagree though because my point of my belief is that we're all God. It's not just me. I'm not God, but we're all God. So if I were Kanye, if my brain, if I had to think for Kanye, put myself in his shoes, I see exactly where he's coming from. He's saying that he's God. He's creating the world that he wants to create. Nothing in my mind, nothing is good or bad. It's all perspective. It's all how you take it. If I went and killed somebody, it might have looked bad to you, but it could have been a good thing for me. You get what I'm saying? It might have been
But
a
then
good thing for
again,
me.
are you connecting it to a religion or are you connecting this to your own beliefs?
Well, I'm not connecting it to a religion because
Okay, so that's what he does though.
well, he doesn't connect it to. He don't say Christianity, does he?
Yes.
I never heard him say that. I heard him say he's
Yes.
God, he's Jesus,
No, nah, that's yes.
and
That's what he connects the shit to.
and even Christianity. I feel like that there isn't.
I mean,
There's
but
so
that's
many
what he
religions. There's
but
so
that's
many
what he
religions. Like, how could
are,
you
but that's what he connects himself to. So a person who's
a
connecting
Christian?
himself to that shit,
Hmm.
now he's saying, he had a little fallout, obviously, because you're not doing the shit that they say they do. So when you connect it to something like that, institution that's already formed, you can't do counter. You can. Of course, yes, you can because there's room to grow and shit like that. Like I said, if you continue to show a pattern of the same shit you keep doing to counteract what the fuck you said, you such this guy that follows by these guidelines. Not just I'm a god and I'm creating this world how I want to create this motherfucker. I'm creating it based on these guidelines. But then you not
Hmm.
doing the guidelines. It's a publicity, son. It's entertainment. So I
I have
can't
to
say
look
he
more into
believes
that.
that shit.
You just keep saying these guidelines. I have to look into that. I don't know nothing about the guidelines you're trying to
I
create
mean,
like
the
by.
fucking 12
But
commandments and shit like that.
I mean, if you're going by that though, and then there's a lot of us out here that say we're Christians, but we don't go by these guidelines. You get what I'm saying? And not just that, but the Christian book, just because it's Christianity, just because it's in the Bible, doesn't necessarily mean that every. You told me
Yeah,
this. You
listen,
said this.
listen. Being a Christian doesn't mean you're an angel at all, whatsoever. Whatsoever. You could be a Christian, you could be
Uh huh.
fucking drinking every day, you could be on drugs every day, you could be abusing your wife every day, and you got to understand a
Yeah, you
religion
can
is
still
a
claim
choice,
being a
a
Christian.
choice. A
Right.
religion is a choice of belief. Period.
Right.
No
Yes,
one's a
but
saint,
if
no one's a
what I'm
pure saint,
saying,
no one's a
what I'm
pure
saying is,
sinner.
if well, he said, I believe that Kanye actually believes he's a god. What I'm saying is, he's anchoring that shit on some religions that already has a god who set these guidelines that you have to do. If he believes he's a god like that person, then he would be following that. Of course, like I said, I know we're all humans. We do have, but I can't see him having this access, having this freedom to do what he pleases. And at one point, he's going so hard. He's he's having the church. Everybody's out partying, not partying. They're out there praising in the name of the Lord. And then all of a sudden, he changes, and it's calculated. I can see if it was spontaneous along with his bipolarism, but it's not. He continues to do the same shit. Say he's sold for something, then he switches up.
I get that, but I still say that his idea of I
That
am
nigga's an
Jesus or
entertainer.
I am God, I still believe that he believes that down to his core, like I do. I believe that shit to my core. Like you can't tell me differently. You can't
But
tell
are
me
you
different.
are you willing to jeopardize that for some fucking money at your
To
age?
what you
Would
mean
you
jeopardize?
jeopardize your belief and not just your belief, but the actions that that come along with your belief and how you carry yourself as a man? Are you willing to jeopardize that?
No.
Kanye did. He definitely did.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. Like you
He
can't say that he
definitely
did.
did.
You can't say that he did only because you're not in his mental to understand what he believes is right and what he believes is wrong. Now, to answer
Yes,
your
you can,
question,
because
no.
there's a rule book that says the 12
Yeah, there's a
commandments.
rule book here, but everybody doesn't follow this rule
Yeah,
book.
everyone doesn't go by the same rule book.
Everybody isn't saying, "Oh, this is right and this is wrong." Everybody has different agreement or
Christians
different.
do.
You said what?
Christians do. That's what the you
That's
supposed
not
to go
true.
by.
Even
Then you're not a Christian. That be saying the gray area like I'm a Baptist or something like this, but I don't do all of. Yes, there's room to grow, but if you're not doing certain things, you not, bruh. That's like a black person saying I'm I'm for my black people, but you ain't doing shit, bruh. You can't say that.
Let's talk about
I
what
don't think there
Kanye
can be no
did.
fucking gray area for things, especially when it comes to like
I
beliefs.
gotta disagree with that because even the most Christian of the Christian people still fall short of following these guidelines. And because they fall short of following these guidelines, no matter where they fuck up at, it could be fucking, I forgot the word they could use in the Bible, but having sex out of, wedlock. It could be that,
Adultery.
and adultery. It could be having, adultery this time. And then they go back to church and try to repent and this and that and adultery next time. It is repetition, but they might not feel like they still
Fuck
Christian.
nah. If you keep doing that shit, you get kicked out. Fuck,
He
that's too much
said,
gray
"You
area.
out."
I can see if you just do it and it happens, it's just a way of life. You get the growth from that. But if you keep doing the shit calculated, a certain thing, fuck no, bro. You don't get the
Yeah,
credit when
especially
you
because it's
being
calculated. I see
calculated,
what you're
bro.
saying.
Yo,
Yes,
you gotta understand.
Calculated.
You gotta
No,
understand that
yes,
people.
you
it's
You
get
gotta
to be a
understand that
predetermined.
human.
people.
You
That's
get to
Hold
it's
be
on.
a human.
predetermined.
I
Yeah,
gotta understand that
you
people
get to
are
be a
under
human,
attack,
but
even though
shit.
they're Christians. People are Christians and they're under attack.
Yeah,
Understand that.
everybody.
That's a
Yeah,
whole nother
everybody under.
conversation. But this is why people are constantly in church on Sundays and asking God for the forgiveness for the same shit they keep doing every fucking week. Because some people are under attack, or some people it's
You
really
got a
just
point.
the attack of the mind.
You got a
Yeah,
point.
but that that
Uh,
that that mindset, you can't believe if you a person that keep doing the same fucking shit over and over, you cannot believe that. You can't believe it. You using this shit to come in here and be like,
I
oh, I'm
see
gonna
what
do
you're
this shit
saying.
again, and
They ain't
you're
digging deep
not a
enough
real
to.
believer, bro.
Yeah.
You can't
No,
fuck
I
the
get
gray
that.
area, bro. We give people too much gray area for wiggle room and
Like
shit,
if you
and
had
that's
if
where
you had
and that's
full
why these
belief, you
motherfuckers
wouldn't
are
even
not.
be doing that, pretty
Yeah,
much.
and these
But
motherfuckers.
there's some
That's
people
why a
who are
lot of
not.
people
There's
are
a
not.
lot of people who are not fully in belief. They decide to believe something, and then they start to like study it more to get more pinpoints on why they should believe it. But people are under attack as well. Like I
Exactly,
know
but
I
like I
know a
said,
Christian who straight
there's
committed
room.
suicide, and somewhere in the Bible, like committing suicide is no good at all.
Yeah, I mean, I
Like,
get all that shit. You feel me?
people
Life,
be under
different.
attack. Like,
Yeah, I feel like,
just as close you are to God, you could be attacked just as hard.
of course,
And
life is
that's in
life.
real life.
Life is life. But at the same time, if a motherfucker just using a system, using anything in life just to make excuses for they calculated fucking so-called fuck ups, and you can't, bruh. Fuck that wiggle room, bruh. You can't give a person like that great room because then they not going. When do you think they gonna take responsibility and stop making excuses for themselves?
Yeah, that's the same question I got with the black people.
But at the same time, like I said, we do have to take responsibility. But at the same time, what have we been dealing with? Where do you know what it takes for a motherfucker to sit down and be like, you know what? Today I'm gonna think about when you got so much other shit you gotta fucking think. That's the last thing you probably gonna think about. The first thing and the final thing, if you got kids, probably worrying about them. You feel me? Like
Maybe that's what everybody needs to do then, is to take some time, sit back, and just think.
Yeah, but who got the fucking time when a motherfucker on your back? Like,
hey, we all got time
on you. Who got the time when you're a slave to money?
Nah, we don't all got the motherfucking time. Hell nah.
I got the time. I don't know what the y'all talking about. I do what I want with my life.
Exactly.
What the fuck y'all talking
The
about?
majority of motherfuckers do not got the time at all, and that's why the shit is in the state where it is. Because it like I said, it's improving, but it's slow because we got motherfuckers that will continue to knock us down as soon as we do a step forward. But we are improving, and we are getting that time to and information to sit back and be like, you know what? That shit kind of makes sense, bruh. This shit don't. What the fuck am I doing? Like, you feel me? And
that's all that's what I want for our people, is to take
it's
time.
happening. It's happening. And what we have to do, we have to take accountability in teaching people and telling people, just like we doing right now, to give them insight and different perspectives, different levels of spiritual awareness that will unlock shit for people. You feel me? Wherever and whenever it's gonna happen for them. But it's on us to do our part and shit. I feel like that's what we doing, but I I can't blame him, man. I can't blame him too much, man. I can't. I'm for my mother.
Put accountability on everybody, nigga. Everybody's accountable. Shit.
Nah, straight up. But I'm super biased. I'm a super biased motherfucker. I don't give a fuck.
I said I'm super biased.
For real, for real.
Okay.
Super biased.
Yo, so what you say? What you say he did, Tone?
What, Kanye?
Yeah.
Well, Kanye, well, I don't remember exactly what he did, but it's the whatever happened with him that was fucking up his Adidas deal that he had with the Yeezys. I forgot exactly what he did. So much shit happened. I'm just losing track. Yeah, some anti-Semitic shit. Like, I think he said, like, he realized that black people are the original Hebrews or something like that. And because all these Jews own all these fucking big ass companies, they was on his fucking neck. It was on his neck. So, I mean, that's a whole nother. That's a whole nother.
Hell yeah,
different...
I mean, but you know, he's a big enough person where if he really wanted the information and to be knowledgeable when he speaks, it's there, and those people are willing and wanting to have a conversation with him. But if he did it, he would have to change up everything. He wouldn't have. He wouldn't be, because like we all know, once you get that knowledge, what you gonna do with it?
Can't get rid of it. You can't get rid of it. It's there.
You gotta use it.
Right.
You gotta do the best you when you get the motherfucking knowledge, or shit.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, you a piece of shit then. It's on you. You feel me? So I feel like he guarding himself to upkeep this motherfucking this entertainment. And I feel like it is a lifetime deal. And I feel like these people, you know, they go to school for it. This is what they're actors, they're entertainers. This is what the fuck they do, bruh. To distract people, for instead of us thinking, not us, you know, but us, our people, instead of you know, and I'm not saying all of our people do it, but you know, be entertained by entertainment, whether it's a show, movie, too much, and that's the time we could be sitting back, relaxing, and thinking about, hey, life, like what the fuck is going on? This shit, you feel me? Or reading something, or meditating, or you feel me, talking to your loved one, or You feel me? Getting to know your people better to start forming that family back to y'all can start a business and shit like that. I feel like he knows what he's doing, but when he talked about them, I mean that shit's true, man. I mean, information is information. Some shit just can be redacted and changed and edited. And Jewish people are not the original Jews. So I mean, and that's facts. But they'll try to shut people down and try to suppress the truth because that's what they've been told to do, and that's what people do, bro. And I'm not saying all Jewish people are fucking evil. That's no one would ever should ever say that. But the majority of the people that own the entertainment industry or news propaganda is man, it's everywhere and it's been
It's
everywhere.
owned by white people.
It's for sure. Has been. So I mean, but shit's changing
Yeah,
though.
question. Y'all think if Kanye keep going around this anti-Semitic shit, y'all think they'll do him eventually like they doing Diddy?
Nah, because he already been labeled crazy. So right now they what they hoping is they can his money will dwindle out. He might actually have a psychotic break or get on drugs or something, and eventually kill himself. I don't think I don't think he's a big risk to them. He's not
I don't
knowledgeable
think that
enough.
it's that big. I don't think that his mental state is as bad as the media wants us to believe.
Relax, man. Hey.
I believe that he just has different ideas, or yeah, I believe that he got different ideas outside the norm, or he's been in the presence of more information than the average person can be in front of due to the amount of money that he's made. He might have some like mental issues. That shit might be true. It could be true. We don't know. It could have been paid off. Somebody could have paid and say, "Hey, Kanye crazy," but I mean, I don't think that Kanye is as crazy as people think that Kanye is. I think that he is this guy.
I don't think the illness you know takes away his brain power. Of course not. I mean, you can't be, I mean, you probably could be, suffering from some things that could stop you from being a musical genius, which he is, but at the same time, you know, hell
Because he's
nah.
not suffering at all.
I mean, he's a good actor, which he, you know, signed up to be. But at the same time,
It's
he doing
entertainment.
shit towards our community that if you was a real man, you know, what what's really, what's worth more? You feel me? You continue to say something, but then take it back by doing something else and keep doing this shit. I mean, it's like
So he's
we
not
get
doing
it.
nothing for the community.
I mean, I'm not saying he's not doing anything for the community. I'm pretty sure he is, especially with his school and shit. But the broadness of his reach is reaching further outside of that fucking school and how many other people attended,
I
especially
tried
when
to
it comes to our
segue into
community.
Diddy and shit, but y'all ain't go with it.
I mean, shit, we could bring him up too. I mean, shit. I mean, we were speaking about that and connecting it. Shit,
Mhm.
I think it makes sense. Shit, I feel like it's been an attack on him, and I feel like it's definitely been an attack. And I wouldn't say. And again, I'm not gonna blame Kanye West too much, but I do have to hold him responsible because he is a grown man now, and he's had a certain amount of money, certain amount of resources that could afford him to get certain help and access to certain information to improve himself.
Mhm.
But at the same time,
Wait. Before you go on, how you know that he doesn't feel like he's at the top where or point where he's improved the most? He's the most improved.
pretty sure it does. I'm not sure what form he's gonna show. I'm going off what he does in shows. You feel me? Like we
But
all,
that's
like
it's
we
like
all
good
are
and bad
from
is
different perspectives.
right.
Yeah, I mean, shit, it is some good and bad in what he does. You feel me? You know, but like we were talking about, I think we do believe it was last episode, I don't see him as a role model. And you know, I hope like how I was raised, I didn't see any superstar, any celebrity to this day. You a regular person to me, bruh. I've met famous people. I've met people that played football, college, and all that shit. That shit don't mean nothing. You a regular person to me, bruh. So I hope people do teach their kids that way, they see them as influences. And that's what we were talking
Influences,
about.
right?
Yeah, that's what we were talking about. The last episode, because his influence is crazy, especially in our community. But if he had that information, I would only hope that he would turn it on sooner than later and actually help us more than the entertainment is affecting us, because we all know the music, things he say, it affects people, specifically Chicago. So, and it's a lot of shit he can do for Chicago.
I ain't gonna say, I ain't gonna add no comment there. No comment.
For real, he need to change the murder rate. For real. Shit. But then again, whatever, we can't put shit on other men. We gotta take the responsibility and do what we can do. So, like I said, we can only hope that he, turns it on sooner than later. But teach your kids, take it for what it is. It's entertainment. Now, if you meet that man in real life and you feel me, and he take you around, show you all the things he's doing, or just makes you, you know, privy of his mindset of why he's, doing this calculated, whatever you want to call it, with this entertainment and in our plight. I mean, shit, you take
Yeah,
it
I'm
for
not
what
gonna
it
go
is.
too deep on it, and I know I just want to see if anybody else heard of it. But y'all know he coming off his own porn. I don't know nothing
Again,
about it.
against that
What?
I don't know
Christianity
nothing
shit.
about it. I just saw
That's the
it.
word. He's coming out with his own Pornhub.
Kanye's porn.
Yeah,
I wonder what could be different.
gonna be people in the background singing church shit. It's gonna be out in the open with a bunch of motherfuckers in black gowns. I mean, shit. It's gonna be whatever sick fantasies. You already know he had, and I'm guaranteed he still does. An addiction to porn, which he's admitted, another fucking weird sickness to the brain. Like, you weak, bruh. Whether it's entertainment or not, shit, he said it himself, so I'm gonna take it for him. But I mean, it makes sense. But then again, he went so hard for this Christianity shit until they started rebelling against him a little bit, and then he ditched the whole fucking festivals he was doing for a whole
Was
year?
he calling himself a Christian?
Yes.
Yes. I have to look at that. Like
Yes.
because
All
even
throughout
with
the
my
fucking
mindset,
Jesus fucking albums.
this
Bro,
is
all
where I'm
that
confused
shit.
because I was raised as a Christian. I still consider myself as a Christian. I believe everything in the Bible, but I believe that in the Bible, if you go through the Bible and you replace Jesus with any one of us, it's still the same thing. I feel like it's just a book of someone's life. It's the book of Jesus's life. And Jesus could be replaced with Thomas, and it's the book of Thomas's life, and how Thomas lives his life. Like I feel like
Didn't Kanye do something like that?
at the end of the day, we all gonna have a book written about us, and I don't know what people's beliefs are, but that book is written by God type shit. Like he's giving your
Didn't Kanye already do that?
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Not sure if
I
he
could have
did. I
heard.
mean,
I could have
he did
sworn
it with his
heard Kanye
music,
was doing
so
some book
that's
where he
documented.
addressed
His
Jesus
lyrics
as
is
Jesus.
Jesus as Jesus.
Yeah, like he was doing like a whole like reiteration of the Bible. Instead of using
Oh,
the
I think
name
I did
Jesus,
see
he used
something like
Jesus.
that. Instead of I think I did see something like that.
I mean, I
I
think
don't
that was
know.
the name of the album, but that's when he was doing. That's when he started doing the whole, you
I
know.
get where he coming from because of the mindset, and it's a hard mindset to understand, especially for traditional Christian persons. Definitely a hard mindset to understand, but I get where he was coming from because I had the experiences that I had in life. So I get where he coming from, and I get when he say he's God and he's Jesus and this and that, and people think he sound crazy, but I don't never think he sound crazy. Well, maybe sometimes. Sometimes Kanye do sound crazy,
He just
but
misunderstood. He ain't crazy at all.
right. And it's
He'll just
always
say
I feel
shit
like
without
there's some
explaining
truth
nothing.
in everything that he's saying. He's just not explaining everything. Sort of like me. I don't explain everything fucking great, but
Mhm.
it's truth in it and it's truth behind it. And that's how I feel like Kanye is try to, put out there for himself.
Indeed. Nah, straight up. And I said, I'm always voting for our people. So Kanye West, you
That's what we're
feel
doing,
me?
Kanye.
You still got my vote, but come on, brother.
How we get
Come
on
on.
Kanye? We should
Come
not
on.
be talking about
You
Kanye
you
right
you got
now.
his vote. You got his vote on that little like that remix.
Nah,
Yeah,
not
we
on
could
that.
trash that. Yeah, we could
I'm
trash
talking
that. We
about
could keep the beat though.
as a
Keep the
human.
beat.
Not when it came to that. Hell nah. That was a fail, my guy. Big fail. Yeah, Drake's still on their head.
I
But
don't think I don't think Kendrick coming out no time soon. I think he coming out next month. It's supposed to be rumored that he's supposed to be dropping the album next month.
He
So I
ain't
think if
wasting
he,
no album. He definitely putting out an album with the diss record on it or something
that's what I'm saying.
referring to
that
Drake
shit
on it.
dead though.
That's what
That
I'm
shit dead.
saying.
That
And
ain't
that
coming
shit,
out
yeah,
soon.
it's dead now. It's I feel like at this point,
But a good
like it's
album out.
too
It
many
ain't
people
dead
jumping
to
on Drake.
someone dead. It ain't dead to someone dead,
Ain't
man.
nobody really did it at the. It's quiet. There's
Yeah,
so many recording studios.
that's a fact.
So many hours in a day. I don't see none of these niggas doing no concerts. I don't see none of these motherfuckers. They all at home. Shit, fucking Rick Ross did all his shit at his house. That was his airport. That was his motherfucking. Like, they not doing nothing. They scared, man. They scared. Drake got too much access to fucking information.
Kendrick
Yeah,
dropping.
too much.
That's not my artist, but I believe that he will respond, but it's gonna be on his time and not
Yeah,
the world's time. I
yeah,
think he dropping with his album.
we gonna take it as art. We ain't gonna take it as a diss though. Ain't nobody
Yeah,
gonna
I don't
take
feel
this
like
shit as
that
a
he
diss.
should respond at this point. It's too late. It's too late, Kendrick.
Make
Don't
great music.
respond. Just make some music and
Yeah.
make some good music.
Make
But
some good music, throw a line in there too. That's it. 'Cause you know that's gonna happen. Ain't gonna be no whole song like
that's gonna
be a
happen.
line or two.
Yeah, he gotta at least say something.
He gotta say something, but
You know
don't
how you
waste
get
your
in
lyrics on that
the
shit.
you get in the
It's
fight
over.
in front of your mom. You get in the fight in front of your mom, and then she blink, and you hurry up and hit the person real quick. Throw a real quick jab, real quick.
Yep.
Mama ain't
But
see
shit, ain't
it.
nobody even out there. That nigga, he gonna come outside, scream on somebody's block. Ain't nobody out. It's early in the morning. You did what you did. Go home now. It's okay. Good effort, Kendrick. You respond to them, but ain't nobody listening to your ass to no diss though. Put out a great album though. It better be motherfucking great, or that Drake gonna say something else after
That's
that.
the only way to survive Drake, and Meek Mill has proven that. Everyone Drake killed Meek Mill. Everyone thought Meek Mill career was over. He put out his next album after that, and that shit was hard. And niggas like, whoa. Like Meek Mill came with it type shit. And that shit kind of just like erased everything, so to say. And then they did a song together. They kissed and made up.
But
Yeah,
overall, I'm glad that this rap beef did happen. Although we did spend like 2 pods on it,
yeah, it was
I'm
talking,
glad that this did happen because this nigga Tone changed his view on Drake. that's that's all I want to take out of it. He changed his view.
Nah,
You just
Drake
add
That's
some
showed
all
up.
I
I
respect
rock with
to his
thought,
like that,
pencil.
man.
nah, I ain't gonna front. I thought the fact that everyone was like assembling against him, he might have been hesitant.
Yeah.
Nah, like he stayed 10 toes down. So I mean, like he definitely like changed my heart. Like everyone should be a little shook about dissing Drake now, because Drake done mastered some shit, and he's only displayed it 2 times. Don't let him
Straight up.
keep, don't let him keep getting a
Yeah,
glimpse
don't.
of that shit.
Yeah, don't. Nah, I feel that.
He
Don't give
took
him more
something
practice.
out of that L that he took from what's his name?
Here we
Pusha,
go.
Pusha. Yeah, he took something. He learned something from that, and he started applying. He learned and
yeah,
started applying.
I don't think it was nothing he learned. I think he was just held back on that one. I think they wasn't letting that dog out. They had
He
that
learned some
motherfucker
shit.
behind 2 fucking fences. They're like, no Drake. No Drake. Not
He
yet.
learned some shit.
It
Pusha
is
did
not
some
worth
shit
it yet.
too.
Nah, fuck, that nigga ain't do shit, man. That nigga's a chatty fucking patty with a big mouth. And he got a nice rhyme scheme. Outside, when it comes to music, Push is great with music. When it comes to dissing, Drake, that shit was
Yo,
he was
it
chatty
gotta be.
patty.
Yo, I know Grim hate when I say shit like this, but it gotta be something about him, son. I don't know what it is, but it gotta be something about him, son. I don't
That's
know what
hate.
it is.
Yeah,
It's
that's
not hate.
hate.
That's
It's not
hate
When
like
hate.
you
'Cause
a bitch.
when you don't
no.
know why you don't like the nigga, you
Nah,
hating,
like
bro.
like I said, episode 2, I think, or 3. I love his music. I just don't think he's that perfect. That's all I'm saying. I don't think he's that perfect.
Man, as far as what to your
Yeah, what do you
to
call this
your
perfect?
liking,
What did you
nigga.
say?
I hope you
Like,
don't
he's a
want this
good
nigga to be
artist.
perfect
Like,
to you.
I don't think that he's like this good artist that just shows love and gets love from everyone. Is down to earth, solid, no weirdness, no funniness to him. I think he has some weirdness, some funny shit to him.
I think he shows it all. This nigga paints his
Yeah.
nails and
Because
shit.
real
I mean,
recognize real, and I just can't make that connection with him. I just can't. I'm
you
sorry.
just so what you saying? I think what I feel like you saying is you wouldn't really hate, you wouldn't be friends with him, but you recognize and you appreciate his art as far as music,
Yes.
but you wouldn't hang out with him. You wouldn't be friends with the nigga because
I would have to feel him out, pause. But I would have to like
I
I'm
don't
not
know.
just
Now it's questionable. I thought you was gonna say yeah. Now I'm like, okay,
like no, before I make
you
the
might be
before I,
suffering from
no,
a little
listen.
hate.
No, you don't. No, you want the real answer. I don't just go off of a straight instinct. I kind of read people out, feel people out.
I think you
If I
digging
have
too
that
far
thought,
into it.
if I
We
have
just
that
looking at
thought,
the
like I
music.
think someone is something like, yeah, we were just talking about music, but now we're talking about something else. I don't know, like I don't know, like there's certain things I notice, like the artists he choose to do songs with from the beginning of his career to now, and I kind of get it. He's trying to keep the young crowd, but I mean, I just didn't see no other artists doing that. So certain things, it just didn't resonate with me. That's just one thing, actually.
That's good
Like
though. What's bad about that? It was business transaction. He put
I,
their song
that's what I
hotter, and
That
he
was
understand.
my
get you feel me?
argument.
That's
He
what I
get their fan
understand.
base.
Right, the young audience. Because if you stay with the older rappers, the people that are older
You
than
go
him, got more
extinct.
experience than him, your audience is only gonna be the people of that's in their 30s and up. You're trying to hit a lower
And he's
demographic.
in it for the long haul. Okay,
Right, we in there for the
That's
fair
long
where
enough.
he.
run.
That's where he at. Where he at? The
Fair
motherfucker
enough.
was smart. You feel me?
That
You
makes
connect
sense.
with these young people. It's a way bigger bone. Well, it's half and half. Shit, you about to push their ass up. Yeah,
It's not.
only because I would say only because he pushes them up to give them an opportunity, maybe ahead of time, but he still pushes them up to a level where you get the opportunity to either you gonna rise to the
I
occasion
think it fucks him up.
or you gonna fall off. I mean,
I get what you're saying.
if
I
you ain't
think
that
I
great,
think
then you ain't gonna last anyway.
right. I think when you get a feature with Drake or you do something with Drake, somebody of that high of a statue or stature, and you're just beginning, I think the expectations, once Drake takes you up here, the expectations for you to stay up here, and because now you're not staying up here and your audience is like, damn, you falling off. It's because I got a Drake feature.
I
I
mean,
was
shit,
only up
that's
there because I got a Drake feature,
every business transaction has its risk. Shit,
Oh yeah, that's
if
the
we
truth.
do
That's true.
a fix and flip and we decide to fix that motherfucker up like it belongs in Beverly Hills and that motherfucker in the neighborhood that it does not make sense, that's on us. Like, you feel me?
Mm-hmm.
It's risk with shit. But if a motherfucker give you an opportunity of a lifetime,
Mhm.
nigga, that's
Yeah, I just think that
priceless.
opportunity usually ends up fucking them up in
Yeah,
the end.
and again, nowadays these artists, they're not ready for it. They're not. Back then
That's
they
what
were
I'm
getting.
saying.
Yeah, they were getting not just getting, but first they were coming into this like, I love this craft. I'm just getting money now because shit, it's present. Now they're thinking like, I'm just getting in it for the money. They're not even and they're not getting that You
That's
know,
true.
they're not getting
That
that
knowledge.
that knowledge and that training that they did
Uh-huh.
for artists back then. They used to cultivate a motherfucking artist. They be like, all right, now you gotta go over here, talk to PR. All right, now you gotta go over here, talk with these artists. Go
Trainer.
over here.
Right.
Yeah, they not doing that. Oh, you hot now? I got one
Right. We're gonna
song.
put you out there.
Yep,
Yeah.
Drake get on this shit, and hey, it's on you. Show us how
All
hot
right,
you
boom.
is. And most of them be mild. They be
I get that.
microwave.
So y'all know me. I be a little inside here and there, hearing things and seeing things. I don't know the song on Drake's last album. I think it's number 3. It's called "Calling for You." Actually, he's doing the beat. The beat sounds familiar to me. I'll elaborate more on that later. But Drake is doing the song, and then he does something that I personally know is not Drake. I personally know it's not Drake. There's an artist from New York. His name is Cash Cobain. He's literally about to be the next big thing out of New York. He's also a producer. Drake bought one of his beats, whatever, put it on the album. There's a certain point of that song where Drake sounds just like Cash. Even to the point where Cash has a certain trademark that he does, like an ad-lib. Drake did that too. Literally just took someone's whole style, even though he bought the beat from them, and literally applied that whole style of someone else to his song. Literally took someone's whole other style. And this dude Cash is gonna have a lot of young kids fucking with his music. That's probably why Drake did it. That's probably why he did it.
Yeah,
I mean, it's a good sound.
business. Music is cutthroat. Music is cutthroat. One of
Or
the
it could
worst.
be him just showing love. It's a shout out.
No one's showing love by taking someone's shit and putting it out there. You don't take
Why
someone's
not?
style and put it out. That's not showing love.
Drake did "Drop and Give Me 50."
Yo,
And
listen.
he
Listen.
took that whole song, that chorus from
Listen.
what's his name, right?
No, hold on.
He's
So
just showing love.
Drake took Cash style for about 6 to 8 bars.
Okay.
He could have just put him as a feature on the song. That's showing love. Not taking his whole style, literally down to the T, and just
You
copying
said
it
he
and putting it
bought
on
the
the album.
beat from him, right?
I know
in-
that. I know it's his
in
beat.
buying the
I know
beat
that's his
from him,
beat.
they did some business. They spoke. They did some business. It was a transaction, right?
I don't know the details of the transaction, so I'm not gonna
So,
say yes or no. What I do know for a fact
but
is he
just in the
100%.
transaction itself,
He
both people have to be
110%
satisfied
took
in the
his.
transaction.
Bro, you said he's showing love. No one's gonna take from you, and that's showing you love in
I
no
can
way,
see-
shape, or form.
I
Yo,
can see
that's
two
not true.
scenarios. I can see if it's probably it's probably 50 and 50, or however, whatever the ratio is. If people who know that artist in New York, who like, I think it's hard that Drake said, he sounded like him. We know that's, you feel me? And there's some other people like yourself who like, nigga, he's not even
Right.
globally known yet, and you're using his style. So when he does come out, they're gonna be like, you sound like Drake. You stole that one part from Drake, and now you're doing the
Possibly.
whole thing. So I get that too, but there is things. But when it comes to music in this situation, I don't think that's showing love if he ain't already out globally known, or at least saying, or saying his name or his
Yo,
tag or something.
Drake is already doing songs with like young popular artists. So what? Or 305, 305, some shit like that. I forget how the beat goes, but Drake just did it with some unknown nigga that I don't really know about like that. You're gonna show someone love and someone produced the record and they have a nice style that you want to steal and apply to your song. You just put them as a feature if you're showing them love.
Yeah,
You
but
don't take their whole style and apply it to your song. That is not showing love at
Yo, I
all.
have to disagree with you because "Drop and Give Me 50," that whole thing right there was from Mike Jones, right? Was it Mike Jones? The
What?
"Drop and Give Me 50"?
I don't know.
Okay,
I don't think so.
cut that shit out. But
No, I forget. I know it's a sample from
it's a
some.
few. It's a few. I can't name any right now off the top of my head.
Let me ask you a question.
When we speak in person, I
If
can
I
come
make
back
a
and-
beat, and you decide to do that beat, and on the beat you hear me rap 8 bars, and you like, yo, I like those 8 bars. You think you showing me love by taking my 8 bars and you're doing it? You think that's showing me love, or you think
If
Me
I
being on the
purchase this
song doing
from
those
you,
8 bars is
listen,
showing me love.
listen. If I purchase this from you,
That's
and there was a
business. That's not
transaction
showing
there,
no love. I had a
listen,
price and you purchased it.
listen.
That's
If I
business.
purchased this from you, and there was a transaction there, and then you showed me. That means you showed me these 8 bars that you had, and I like this. We're in good right now. I don't hate you. You don't hate me. We are
Hmm.
friends right now at this point. You showing me shit. I'm showing you shit. Or you get what I'm saying. But that is a shout out. That is, hey, I'm a use this in my song, but you know where it came from. It's a shout out to you. You can show this shit to other people. Like, hey, I made this right here for Drake. This is right here.
On a
This
scale of one
Drake
to
is me
ten,
right here.
that's showing love at like a 2, the
We
highest.
we gotta
I
get
get it there.
what did the artist say? How did
I don't.
he feel?
No,
He
that
didn't
I
say
don't
anything,
know. I don't know how he feels.
and
I
that's what
wonder
I'm
how.
saying.
Yeah, I wonder
Only
how
thing I
he
will say
feels.
after that to make it make sense is that when Drake came to New York, Drake linked up with him. That's the
Oh,
only
then,
thing.
So you get
oh,
what
then
I'm
it's good. Then
saying?
That's
yeah,
It
it.
it's
could be
good.
showing
Then
love.
if that's
That's it.
that
He
was after
probably
the song they linked up.
this is after the album came out.
Oh, they Gucci then. He probably broke
Drake
him
was
off
at
some
a
more
Nick
bread
game,
too, and
and
was
then
like,
they got
Exactly.
together
Like it's
and
just
just
showing love. That's all I see it.
yeah, nah, yeah. With that information, hell yeah, it got to
Yeah,
be
if
love.
they
Because if
not
it was
in
smoke, then he wouldn't.
yeah,
Yeah,
if they fighting and shit like that, and then yeah, it's a
but
yeah,
whole different
but
thing.
but Cash Cobain has no credits.
yeah. I
Is he
don't think he
showing
cared
love or
about the
not?
credits because if if
Don't
if,
matter to
if you
me.
that great of an artist, you should know that
Y'all crazy.
somebody's
Didn't we
gonna
say
take
this is a
something from you.
business? Didn't we say this is business? Do you gotta
If
understand
they
the
bought
writing
it,
of music? The writing of music is business too. It's
right.
Yeah,
business
that's
too.
true.
If
If
you
you
help me
sell
write a
it though,
song,
if you sell it, and then it's not for you to take credit.
I mean, there's different clauses to contracts with that. But
Right. But you only take credit in shit that you're not selling. You get what I'm saying? Like you still gotta have a stake in something in order for you to take credit for it.
Cash Cobain is an entity himself. He's an artist just like Drake.
But you gotta have a stake in something. If I gave you 100% rights to what the fuck I created, and then it's yours, it's 100% yours. If I gave you 98% of it, and then that's different. You get what
Okay,
I'm
that's
saying?
the agreement. But where's the show and love part you was talking about? Because that's the part I'm not getting.
Just
I don't
putting
see
it in the song. Just putting it in the song is showing love.
what is it
I
showing
don't
love
say
or
don't put it
is
in a
hold
song
on?
for me.
Is no listen, is it showing love or is it an idea that makes the song hotter that you're putting out and that's why you're doing it? Because someone thought of something hotter than what you got, and you're
It
like, I'm
goes
gonna
both
take that and
ways.
apply that.
It goes both ways. I wouldn't want to take it from you if it wasn't hot. You get what I'm saying? And I also purchased it from you, but at the same time, I'm going to use it because it was hot. And because it was hot and I used it, you know that you created this. Your people that you fuck with know that you created this. But this is like everybody else probably don't know, but this is me showing you love. Like, hey, you can say you created this. You got it.
I get it. It's definitely some sides to it. You can think of
Yeah,
different
yeah. Like
perspectives
I
you can
kind
approach
of
it.
get you. Like the fact what he's saying is the fact that you had this idea and I'm messing with your idea. That's me showing you love because I'm using that idea.
Yeah,
That might not be showing love. That might be, oh shit, that's fire. I need that.
that's both
Let me
ways.
get that.
Certain
Both
You know what I'm
situations, it
ways.
saying?
I
applies.
bought
Yeah,
it from you.
That was
it,
so
You
fire. I
gave
didn't
you
even
were
think
willing
of
to give
that.
it away. That means you
I didn't
weren't
even
using it.
think of that. I didn't even think of that. Oh, I need that. That's not showing love. I need that. That's a difference.
Did
But
you
we don't
you
know. We don't know the in between, so we
yeah,
don't
you
even keep
experienced
elaborating
it.
on that.
Yeah.
But I know
yeah.
for a fact he said this shit the same way he says it, and he took his ad lib. Those are the facts, the hardcore facts. Everything else, I don't know. And I just don't see his name as a credit.
Yeah,
That's it.
I feel like it can apply to different like those scenarios both ways. Well, not scenarios, those perspectives on it can apply in so many different ways depending on the person and the actions that they shown before. Like if it's a grimy motherfucker who's known for
Like, if I don't see
stealing
no
people's
smoke,
shit and he still made a business transaction, but he's known for stealing people's shit. If he steal their shit after the business transaction, we all know the motherfucker just a stealing ass person, even though it
at
was
the
a
same
business
time,
transaction.
the person he stole it from would come out and say something. They wouldn't be meeting up with you
Part,
afterwards. You get what I'm saying?
partly not because we all know it's just like the nigga at the dice game. You know this motherfucker he always cheating. Just but you all get this motherfucking mercy.
Now you can't prove it. You gotta prove it.
Everybody know this motherfucker just be cheating, or he just always do the most. Like, you call it everything, nigga. Like, but you always let this motherfucker come back. It's certain scenarios where I can see that happening as far as being disrespectful and being motherfucker just giving you some a shout out and giving you love. But shit, yeah, man.
We at that point. We like,
but we passed that part.
Yeah, goddamn.
We passed that point.
But we passed
I was about
that.
to start yawning. Like, hold on, right?
It's too much for y'all. We love y'all. So we just gonna sit here and keep having conversations. But we are about to out of here.
This is episode 6.5 because we gave y'all episode 9.
6. Yeah, I definitely got it.
Yeah, another half hour.
Nah, straight up. But it's been a good conversation.
Episode
for real.
6.5, man.
I love talking with y'all, man. For real.
So I'm glad you in here, man.
Always.
You were stable in this bitch. Now you here.
Straight up. Not at all.
I'm here, man. I got the baby boy sleep, man. I'm committed. I'm here, man. Y'all see me turning my head like this?
Same. I'm listening.
Baby boy is alright.
One ear off.
Right.
You dig? You already know. You already motherfucking know. He got older kids, so this motherfucker like, look at, he just relaxing, chill. I'm in the position to get up. I'm ready to get up at 8.
You know?
Yeah. Your ass ain't getting up. He like, he waiting for it. Tony, he waiting for certain levels of crying. If it's that motherfucker's good. They think you good. You feel me? Nah, but yeah, I can't wait to get to that level. But man, another episode.
Yes, sir.
6 episode.
Number 6. I ain't got no rhyme or none with that one. 6.5. But man, another great episode, y'all. What y'all got to say? We did it one time before. And since the conversation, before we get out of here, just to wrap it up, what would you guys say, to someone in our community that doesn't have the time, that hasn't had the opportunity to reflect on how they can make a change, in themselves and their community? What would be some advice that y'all would give to them, whether they're an adult or a child?
Find out who
someone that hasn't had the time.
Yeah.
My advice will be get the time. That's my advice. Get the time because it's very fucking important. Find time to always do better for yourself. Find out how to do better for your family. You just gotta find time to find it. You gotta find time to find out. But find time, yeah. You always have the time. You just gotta, prioritize.
Yes, sir. I want to piggyback on top of that and find time, and with that time, always get 1% better every day. You will reach closer to fulfillment. You know what I'm saying? 1% better every day. It's not too much work to do, and it's not too hard to do. You just got to keep pushing yourself, staying consistent. 1% better every day. Find out who you are. Work at your goals. Find out your vision. 1% better every day, and build a compound effect off of that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Straight up.
Even if something is too hard to do, that's something that you should probably lean into, because you find yourself in those hard things and not in just comfortability. Being uncomfortable is a good thing. Get comfortable being uncomfortable. You open up more for yourself and for your life and for your family, just period. But get comfortable being uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
Straight up shit, man. Both great fucking answers for real. Like you said, get that time. And Tone, you said, improving in yourself little by little, man, I think, combined with that, just, with that time and that improvement that you're putting on yourself as well, teach someone the things that you're learning. Surround yourself with people that's, doing what you want to be doing. And learn and teach, because when you
Don't
teach
forget.
it, yeah, when you teach it, you start, being more,
Learning more.
you more crisp on it. You
Mm-hmm.
feel me? It's sticking in your head more because you're applying it not just in your life but to someone else's life. So,
Mm-hmm.
man, three, well, two, well, I say mine as well, but three great ass examples of how we can combat what our community is going through, and shit, I can't say nothing else, man. Shit.
It's been guys in conversation, man. Like, subscribe, share, follow us everywhere.
Tell your
We out.
mamas, we out.
We
Yeah.
out.